Okay, so just put 15 laps in on a 22 350 SXF coming from a 19 450. This was my track that I normally rode at. So I've mostly ridden a 450 here, 40-year-old vet, 235 pounds, 6'2", vet B on a good day. Anyway, I was nervous or hesitant to go with the 350, but the 450, especially if you're going to do some hair scrambles, if you do that in B class, I always manage to just do those in C for 1 hour. Like Millville, I did really well the first one I ever did, but that was 4 years ago. I was in a lot better shape, and I was still barely holding on. That was a 16 450 with moto suspension. So some of my woods guys were always daring me to try that. It was a lot of fun, but I was the only guy goofy enough to try it on a 450 my first time. So I wasn't sure how the torque would work, but it's got the second map and traction control. It's like tamed down version of a 450, which I think is what most vets want. And it's been incredibly dry and incredibly hot here in Minnesota this year, 2021. So I haven't ridden much. We just got 2 inches of rain last night, so I drugged the track. And I haven't ridden here in a year and a half. The ownership had some insurance scares, I think, and whatever else, so he closed the track for a bit. But just this year he brought up working on it again, so I've been de-weeding everything. It's not quite done, but like for instance, that jump over there by the pickup, that one, if you land at the bottom, it's 70 feet. It's got a shorter run up to it, easy on a 125 if you do it right, but nothing I was having a hard time with on this track, and this is a pretty simple vet track. But there's tracks north I like to go to. That's got a couple of big jumps, but what I feel right now is the 22 suspension and just the way the power delivers, you eliminate some of that arm stretch for when you get tired and you can't hold on any longer, just like everybody says. It's still plenty fun to ride. I don't recall I haven't ridden for, it was early in the summer, probably 2 months, and haven't been bicycling much or doing anything else, just working. We work construction, so there is a little bit of physical labor, but I wouldn't be able to hold on to the bike for more than 4 or 5 laps, even on this track, going what I feel to be a good clip. But I didn't feel it yanking my arms. I'm not arm pumped at all, which would not be the case on my 450. The suspension on it's really nice. I set it up to MXA 21 specs. They don't have the race test out, and to be quite fair, like, it's a really good baseline for me. Always has been. Like, those guys have never steered me wrong. They actually test stuff. So I'm pretty happy even just with the way the bike handled, and that's the first time I've ever ridden it, so it's probably officially broken in right now. But if you're thinking about it, like, 450 just kind of isn't as fun to hold on to, and you're not into trying to do speed wheelies. You want to actually go and ride for a while and not feel like you're gonna die. But 250 seems kind of weak, if you're a bigger dude. I'm really excited about this bike. I've been on 450s since 2005, and I jumped from a 125 to a YZ 450, and that thing sucked. It was vibrating, and they've just gotten better. The 06 I thought was really great and smooth, and then I got sick of how they handled. But 14 450 KTMs, I had a 16, I had 2 different 19s, and just wanted to get back into some hair scramble stuff and be able to hold on to the bike and be able to ride for a long time. I think you got to try one of these, because everybody I know, worked at a couple dealers for Cowie and stuff. Everybody buys a 250 and they rave about it, but inevitably the older guys or the bigger guys especially end up putting 280 kits on it or trying to get a little more. And this thing, you can torque it if you need to. It doesn't run out, and you don't have to sit there and tap dance on the shifter like you do on a 250F. Really wring it out. And that's what's kind of nice about a little bit more displacement is, you know, if you're only riding for fun, it can kind of save your butt if you don't hit everything perfect. You know, like this jump, you can hit wrong and not clear and kind of hit it funny, but it's still torqued around here. I could tell there was a little less, but even map 1 was much smoother. So if you're getting tired on a hair scramble or just on a moto day, that really smooths it out a little bit. And then map 2 is really nice for comparing to a 450. So I'm going to put my recluse on here and the neck and triple clamps. If you got pain in your hands or wrists or anything associated with being 40, those things really smooth stuff out. Good enough for Dungy, good enough for me. That's a good little investment. I'd go for that. But that's just a real world test of a 350 from a 450 guy. I'm sold. I'm happy I did this.